What makes a warm home? Entry 20. Mom's chili. When you think of the words comfort food, what comes to mind? Do you think of apple pie, pizza, or ice cream? Maybe think of candy bars or some kind of snack like Cheetos. That thing you turn to when life has got you down and that food that makes you happy. Or maybe you think of something from your childhood, your mom's famous pasta or your dad's barbecue recipe. One of the many things I think of is my mom's chili. Here in Texas, what my mom makes as chili probably would be considered sacrilegious. Southern chili is mainly meat with a few small things that get added. The flavor is the star of the show, and some people take it incredibly seriously. It is all about how to coax the most flavor into some ground beef. My mom, on the other hand, makes her chili, and it is in some ways more of a stew. It's a tomato based chili with ground beef, but also some veggies, noodles, and beans. It's not a very spicy recipe. It just is homey, filling, and satisfying. Sitting here at my computer, I don't actually remember the last time I had it, but I can always remember the way it made me feel. Oftentimes, we would have it on a weekend during the fall or winter, and especially when it was served on a cold day, it would fill your stomach, but also warm you from the inside out. We would always put oyster crackers on top, and oftentimes she would serve it with some bread to dip in it while you ate. I can remember the giant stainless steel pot she would use to cook it in, and I can remember walking into the kitchen on those days, and the aroma would fill the entire house. My mouth would start to water, and I couldn't wait for dinner. Every time we had it, one bowl wouldn't be enough. Seconds and sometimes thirds were almost always in order. Those meals were always around the kitchen table. The chili pot was right in the middle, my dad on one side, my brother and mom on the ends, and my sister and I on the opposite, my dad. So often we would gather as a family around the table for dinner. My dad would sometimes be late getting home, but both of my parents made it a priority that we would eat together as a family. Many times a week, the table was set with some other food that now feels like comfort food, whether it be one of my mom's casseroles, something off the grill, something simple that my mom either whipped up on the fly or leftovers from the last few meals we had eaten. It's funny how the things we grew up with oftentimes become the things that comfort us into our adulthood. Those family gatherings, though, were such a focal point in our daily lives. It wasn't every night, especially as we grew up and got into middle school and high school, when we would have some other after school activities to schedule around. That said, family time was a time where we would share about our days. My parents would ask us about different things from school or about friends or extracurricular activities. On Saturday mornings, my dad at one point started giving us a vocabulary word every week that we would learn, and it would become an opportunity for us to learn something together. As kids, it was a little competitive to see who could remember the definition the fastest. Eating around the table as a family became, in a lot of ways, as comforting as the food itself. It tied our bonds as siblings together, and it created a place where we could talk with people who cared about each other. A place that meant we belonged and could share whatever was going on in our lives. I appreciate that time so much now looking back on it. As I look ahead to starting a family in the near future, I know that eating as a family around the table will absolutely be a priority as we raise our kids. Having that time of family presence was so important to our development and learning how to function in this world, learning skills and being taught how to act appropriately, to have courtesy, how to enjoy spending time with other people. I look forward to being able to pass those lessons on to my own kids and hopefully a few recipes that warm and comfort them as much as my mom's chili. Start creating your warm home. Visit etsy.com/shop/warm home candles co. If you enjoy this audio journal, I would appreciate it if you hit subscribe or left a review. I will be publishing a new audio journal every week on Wednesday at noon on YouTube and Spotify. You can also find Warm Home brands and candles on Facebook and Instagram. And lastly, remember a warm home isn't about the things in your home, but about the people who live there and the grace and peace God gives them every day. Thanks for listening.